Hello and welcome to AI application development using Azure and OpenAI. In this part, I'm going to talk about how you can put the code in Streamlit and build an application which looks like talking to OpenAI and giving the user interface pretty quickly. So let's dive into the code base. So let me take you to the code file where we were developing the application. All right, done. And we'll continue to build things here. So we'll have the submit button, that's fine. But before that, I'm gonna need the library file. So let's give a name as customer lib so that I don't clutter my website code and pipe. And in this library file, I'm gonna do is that I'm gonna go ahead and copy a few lines of code from um, from my previous Python notebook which I created. So let me take you back to the demo code, and I'm gonna go on top, and I'm gonna take this part where I'll be loading the environment variable. So that's the first part. So I'm importing the .env file to load the environment variable from .env file, right? So it's kind of like the same code which I did later. Then now I define a function called def load so that I can use that as the right. So it's basically I'll be calling a function. Now I will also go back, take the last LangChain prompt template we did, right? Let's copy from here up to this point. Okay. And I say that let me go to this lib file and paste it. But in this, let me cut this part and I define a function, say def build up, right? And in this, I'm going to take a parameter called org_name. Okay. And I'm going to see if I have done any mess up here. No. So let me not use this here at this point in time. I will focus on prompt. So what I'm going to do is that I'm going to just push it little one tab so that it's part of the function. So now what I'm going to do is that I'm going to build the prompt. So it's now instead of input, I'm saying that get me the org name. So it's going to go ahead and create a prompt template where the org name will be coming from a text box, and I will call this function by this, and it's going to go ahead and get me that. And then what it essentially will do, it will return the prompt. Okay, say this. So making a little like modular approach to the code. So the build prompt is going to build the prompt, return me the prompt. That's fine. Now here, I'm going to say that get org details. Okay, check details. Get org details. Okay. And I just use the same variable called org name. And here I'm going to say load keys, the function which I created on top. So to load the key, I'm going to call this. And then I'm going to call the LLM. So let me copy the LLM here. This one, I need this part. So I go to this lib and I build this LLM. And then after that LLM variable, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to define the prompt. So I'll say build prompt, pass the org name, it gets me the prompt. And then I'm going to go ahead and copy the output cursor, etc. from here. So I will say that output cursor, chain, response, return. Let me copy this and then copy paste it here. I'll make little uh, changes here. So I'm going to get the prompt. I am going to call the output person. I'm going to invoke the chain, but this time I'm going to pass the org name variable as the parameter which I'm accepting here. That is org name. Okay, so you see here, it's kind of like the same org name here, right? So they need to match it. So I'm gonna expect user to put a placeholder. So that placeholder is org name and that's coming. So I have got now 3 functions. To load the key, fairly simple. And to build the prompt, I could do it in same thing, but I read it in twice. So I get the org. So this is what I'm gonna call from my website. So let me go back to my web portal and let me show you how you can. So it'll no more be simple now. So what I'm gonna do now, I'm gonna import customer lib. That's the file name. Okay. And then okay. So here I need let's say organization name will be coming from an input called text input organization. All right. So whatever you type here will be coming to this variable as organization name. And then instead of this button, I will say if button clicked, ask me about the organize. You can have a better, let's say, level. If I say that now, what I'm going to do is that so this organization name is this variable. So whatever someone types in the text box, once the button is clicked, it will get the response. But this time I'm going to use another write. Okay, so I'll put it after the button, write response. So it's very simple. 13 lines of code, actually 12 lines of code if I remove the extra space, which essentially is calling the library which I built just now, which is not more than 45 lines of code. And you will be able to see if things are fine, working at as per expectation. Okay, so let's see. Now you're going to even test it here, right? So you can say that I want to call this and see if it is getting me results. So let me do that here before I load the whole Streamlit application. So import customer lib as CL and then response equals to cl get args print response. If I just run this part and I go to this, stop this, and I say Python hello. Right, so there is not much. Okay, let me quickly check that. Let me quickly check the library. So this is where I wanted to check. Ah, I did not return the response. Okay, that's why it was showing. So that's why testing is important. So let me try running that. Yeah, I'm getting some response. Cool. One thing I know to make sure that it doesn't show up is I go ahead and remove the thing which is this print one. Instead, I should be throwing some error message. So I just load the uh, environment, right? So that's fine. Let me delete these lines. It's not required. All right. So you can see that now I've got this working. Okay. Let me go ahead and go to the customer.py, which is the actual website using Streamlit, and I run the, this time I'll make sure that I type properly for the first time, Streamlit customer.py, but before that I need run. So I'll say run, and I open the browser. It's gonna go ahead and open the browser, and it asks me to type it. So this time it's not loaded. So I'll say Microsoft, and it shows you the output, right? Industry, blah, blah, blah stuff. All fine. Very well. Okay. And I say, let's say, let's see, should be some output. Apologies, but I'm unable to provide the information in this country, not an organization. So AI is smart. So they are not, even if I haven't done it in the prompt, it still is not bringing that, because the intent, this whole prompt they could identify, is to get the information about an organization. Right? So there is no organization by this name, so it's not going to get you that. All right, so this is fine. So thank you very much for watching at this point in time. Next one, we're going to package it in the Docker container and test it locally before we push it to the Azure Container Registry. Thank you very much and have a great day.